So now we're going to look at our third type of button, the radio button. So I'm going to double click. Under the interface section, I'm going to choose button, and now put in the button. Now I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have a text push button. I'm going to change it to a radio button. And now the text, now you can see this looks very similar to the checkbox button. Let's test this. So as you can see, this is just like that. Now here it just has a little circle. One difference is you can uncheck a box. And another difference we're going to see right now, we can choose between multiple items. So the text button, like usual, see in this object we get this little dot here. We can click this, and now we can make multiple boxes to check. So we can have like certain options for something in an application. So we'll have option 1, then press enter, option 2, option 3, and you can have as many options as you want, and each check, each box, each radio button that you'll be able to choose from is separated by a enter in this edit text window. So now I have 5 options, and I press OK, and now you can see there's 5 different options to choose from here. So if we test our frame now, we can choose one of these. And as you can see, I click on one, and then I choose another one, and this one becomes unclicked, and the other one becomes clicked. So I'm going to close that, and now we're going to look at some other properties. Disabled at start, like before. It disables them. Hide on start, just like before, hides them on the start. Left text, just like before in the checkbox, it will put the text on the left and the radio boxes on the right. And we can choose our colors just like before. We can choose any color that we want. I'm going to uncheck that. We can make the background transparent, like that. And then we can change our size, position, changed our fonts, like before. We can choose any font that we want, and change it to any size that we want. And as you can see, that made it a certain size. It'll overlap each other, so you'll have to stretch it out a lot. Another thing I forgot to mention is if you drag this down, it will evenly space the checkboxes in the available space, and it won't just put them at the top. So if I make this a little bit smaller, I'm going to change the size back down to 12. And so you can see that it evenly spaces them. We can choose bold, italic, underline, and strikeout features like before. I'm going to leave those off. Then we can add movements like before. We're going to look at that later. The same runtime options. And then we have the events. We can add behaviors. And here we can change the name. I'm going to choose button 3. So now we have button 1, 2, and 3. We're going to look at one more type of button in our next lesson.